Good morning, distinguished alumni board members. It is both an honor and a privilege to stand before you today, addressing a topic of unparalleled significance. My name is Hassan Akmal. I'm the Executive Director of Career and Professional Development at UC San Diego. And our topic is the future of work and its profound impact on us. I'm thrilled to share some insights into the transformative shifts in the professional landscape that we are seeing. And our goal today, briefly, in about 30 minutes, is to explore the ever-evolving world of work, shed some light on those paradigm shifts that we're seeing in our career landscape and how higher education institutions and career services might navigate some of these changes effectively. In my capacity, I've been in higher education for 29 years and a director of career services for 15 consecutive years, half as an executive director. I've had the privilege of witnessing the evolving dynamics of the job market. And I'm excited to share some ideas on how the landscape of work is changing very rapidly and what strategies our institution can employ to try our best to stay ahead of the curve. I will share some thoughts on the current state of work, the trends shaping its future, and the necessary adaptations we might consider as we turn the page to this next exciting era. What you're seeing is a picture of our Career Center from the outside and also a brand new branding statement that's about to go on the front of the building entitled Transforming Passion into Purpose. And I'll talk about why we chose that branding statement later in the presentation. First, let's mention the present state of the job market, which is characterized by globalization, technological advancements, and demographic shifts, which really sets the stage for understanding the future. Now, these elements are not isolated, but intricately connected. And what you'll see is that it is actually driving monumental changes in how we approach employment and careers. The word career, I like to say, has been redefined. In my first book, I redefined the word career because it no longer has the same meaning it did even a decade or 2 decades ago. And for the first time ever, more people are voluntarily leaving scripted lives in search of more meaning. More people are leaving voluntarily than being laid off. Now, it's important to note that these changes that we're seeing are not abstract or distant. They are very much here, profoundly impacting the nature of work and the skills required to succeed now. In the future, quantum computing and AI are expected to make significant strides in various sectors. Industries such as healthcare, finance, logistics, and materials science stand to benefit from the powerful combination of quantum computing's processing power and AI's ability to extract insights. The quantum computing market, to give you a sense, is expected to reach 4.85 billion soon. This new pizza delivery system has already been piloted. This isn't the future. This is happening right now. Robots, for example, can build a home in just 2 days. Imagine the transformation that can happen worldwide. They never get tired. They never need a break. They never need sleep. How about a policeman? They call it the cheetah robot. Usain Bolt, a Jamaican athlete, is the fastest person in the world. Usain Bolt holds world records in the 100-meter and 200-meter Olympic sprints. I don't know about you, but I could use this as I get pretty tired after a long day of work, and I could use a robotic cook at home. And this is something you could purchase, in fact, well, if you can afford it. The future of work is in the midst of an extraordinary revolution, primarily powered by rapid technological advancements. Artificial intelligence and automation are increasingly taking over routine and repetitive tasks, necessitating a shift in focus towards uniquely human skills. Skills such as creativity, critical thinking, emotional intelligence, and adaptability have never been more critical. They are really the bedrock upon which future careers will be built. and our educational institutions must respond accordingly. One of the most surprising things that I've learned, or I would say most counterintuitive, despite the concerns with automation and the need to reinvent ourselves, is what I've seen in terms of the importance of professional development. There's a clear pattern that a job is more than a job or making a living, that to design your life, you must also design your career, because both personal and professional development matter. We say personal first because we begin with the person. More and more data speaks to the fact that people will stay in a job. In fact, more than 93% will stay if they feel like they are growing. And more than 60% will stay in a job if they feel that if their work that they do is acknowledged by the supervisor. We're not even talking about being recognized for their contributions, just that their work is acknowledged by the supervisor. But while compensation is still very important, it becomes less correlated to satisfaction and happiness once you get past an annual salary of $150,000. In fact, when you hit $200,000, there's almost no correlation. What research is saying is that people are looking for connectedness, mastery of their craft, and a sense of belonging. And if they master their passion, they transform it into skills, and they use it to solve the problems of other people, very much like our branding statement, transforming passion into purpose. And if you do that, research says that you will feel more fulfilled, more happy at work. Globally, flexibility, they're looking for the most important thing globally is flexibility, a job that is interesting, meaningful work, job security, plus learning and growth. These have all spiked since the pandemic. The relationship between employers and workers is quickly changing. Talent is a company's most precious resource, and yet a new, younger generation of employees are increasingly becoming burnt out. We've seen 2-week notice, sometimes less than that. They're flat out resigning. And with all the technological and sociological changes, the question becomes, what will the future of work look like? Well, there's been a strong rise in the gig economy, and remote work is also reshaping the very fabric of traditional employment, offering flexibility and agility to both workers and organizations. Google's workforce, for example, is primarily contract roles, the majority. In fact, new hires aren't even set in a specific role for the first 6 months. There's a floating period where they get to kind of dabble with different teams and areas and help ensure that it's a culture fit. Now, at the end of that 6 months, if they don't land a new team, then there might be a problem. But it's a wonderful way for them to really align passions with the right team and the right values of those team members. It all comes down to alignment of purpose and mission, our core values, and how those can inspire us and motivate us to make a difference. Now, to gain a deeper understanding of what to expect, we must consider the emerging industries and trends that are reshaping the professional landscape. Technology, including artificial intelligence, machine learning, and data science, is at the forefront of these changes. These fields are not only creating new job opportunities, but also transforming existing industries, from healthcare to finance, even agriculture. Moreover, we are witnessing the growth of sustainable industries, renewable energy, which really reflects the increased importance of environmental consciousness. The future of work is about well-being, inspiration, and stories, as much as it is about organizations and people thriving. 84% of Gen Z and 87% of millennials rated meaningful work as one of the most important factors in their career and life pursuits. We are in a new era of social mobility, and I like to say career and life design as a theoretical framework. It's about experimentation and iteration, applying design thinking to your career. The next generation want to be chief architects of both their careers and lives. The next generation of talent has arrived with digital portfolio style resumes. But are we ready? They're building a portfolio of experiences and will have multiple careers over a lifetime, likely in very different and new industries. Also, they will have multiple careers at the same time. Now, strong employer engagement is critical in a constantly changing economic climate. You can't just work on career development, right? You have to have opportunities in industry to match the students with. So, social media's impact with slow economic recovery, rapid transformations in technology, the gig economy, higher skill and credential requirements for good paying jobs, and emerging mismatches between employer needs and worker skills make it more challenging and make social media more important to bridge that gap. It also makes business and educational partnerships much more challenging. But initiating such relationships and ensuring success as well as sustainability is far from simple. The landscape of talent acquisition it's changed significantly. Yet the demand for opportunities by students as well as top talent by employers is rising. While some employers bypass higher education institutions altogether to source talent, social media still plays a key role. These social media platforms are increasingly being used by individuals to showcase their skills, to showcase that portfolio of experience, like you see in a LinkedIn profile. Automation is also happening as a response to some of these labor shortages. There is a lot of divergence and differing opinions in terms of hybrid and remote work. It was all over the place for a while. To give you a sense, globally, 37% of workers want to be in the office. 20% don't want to be in the office at all. The other 43%, which I find myself in, prefer the hybrid model among the workforce. And this is something that UC San Diego has obviously adopted. Higher education institutions play a pivotal role in shaping the workforce of the future. Now, to remain relevant, we need to adapt swiftly to the changing expectations of the industry. This involves a commitment to lifelong learning, providing avenues for upskilling and reskilling, and fostering a culture of continuous education. Higher education institutions play a pivotal role in shaping the workforce of the future. It's no longer sufficient to provide students with a static set of skills that become outdated shortly after graduation. How many times have we seen that? The era of lifelong learning, it's upon us, and we have to respond to that commitment to continuous education. And this really means providing clear pathways for upskilling and reskilling and fostering that culture of perpetual learning within our academic and career communities. Furthermore, the gig economy, remote work, and the prevalence of platform-based jobs are redefining the very essence of traditional employment. The workforce is becoming increasingly decentralized, where location is no longer a limiting factor. The rise of remote work and the adoption of flexible working arrangements have paved the way for a global talent pool. In this context, adaptability, digital literacy, and cross-cultural communication skills become somewhat indispensable. And gig workers, because of the lack of connectedness, we're also seeing have less satisfaction because they're missing that piece. Now, longevity is no longer 3 to 4 years. You will likely migrate to different industries, and in tech, longevity has been reduced to just 1 year. In fact, the former LinkedIn CEO said he'd be happy if somebody could commit to a year and a half. Work is at the crossroads. With the great reshuffle, talent has become an even more precious resource, driving higher salaries, more flexible work options we're seeing as well. Yet many employees still report feeling quite burnt out. To better understand the impact of broader technological and societal changes, Consulting firm Bain surveyed over 20,000 workers to identify the major forces reshaping how they think about and do their jobs. From work-life balance to the role of automation, work norms are shifting. This means that skills are the new currency, and there is a lot of shifting that is happening. 100 years ago, 40% of the workforce was in agriculture. There was also a shift from farms to factories. Now we're seeing a shift in terms of self-education. Self-education is currently, we can say e-learning, is currently $1 billion a day industry and is expected to hit $1 trillion a day by 2028. According to the World Economic Forum's 2023 Future of Jobs report, 23% of jobs are expected to change by 2027, with 69 million new jobs created and 83 million jobs eliminated. This is an inflection point for all of us. How far will the right answers to the wrong questions get you? Not very far. Some students are asking questions like, what is the organization ranked? What's the salary? These are all, I would say, less than ideal questions to ask if it is indeed meaningful work and purpose that you are seeking. Our workforce is evolving, and with it, the values of expectations of each generation. To create a thriving work environment, we must acknowledge and celebrate these differences. An inclusive and diverse workplace is not just a moral imperative, it's an enabler of innovation and a powerful magnet for top talent. We know from data that diverse teams offer a broader range of perspectives, and in this changing world, diversity is not merely a buzzword, but a strategic imperative. In the Career Center, we are focused on diversifying our recruiting pipelines and educating employers on new ways to tap into underrepresented student talent. We're even thinking of hosting a symposium for employers focused on JEDI, justice, equity, diversity, and inclusion. In this dynamic landscape, success, I would argue, lies in our ability to adapt swiftly. Agility is key. Collaborating across different disciplines and encouraging fresh perspectives are some of the most essential components. Breaking down silos that have traditionally separated academic disciplines, opening ourselves up to non-academic careers for PhD students. The cultivation of innovation and creativity it's no longer a choice. It's a fundamental aspect of staying ahead of the curve in a world where change is the only constant. AI is also a strategy, but one we must also be quite careful with. I'll give you an example. Going back to social media, right? AI systems could potentially learn how social media works and how more outrageous messaging increases the audience. Essentially, it can be something posted on your behalf. It's not even you. You wouldn't know where it came from, who's feeding it, and how it might be regulated. As an institution, we bear the responsibility of preparing our students for a future heavily influenced by technology. Now, increasing digital wellness into our education system is crucial. Additionally, promoting critical thinking, problem solving, and providing experiential learning opportunities are essential in molding well-rounded, career-ready graduates. To bridge the chasm between academia and industry, fostering partnerships and deep engagement with various sectors is paramount. By aligning our educational offerings with the ever-evolving needs of industry, we can ensure a seamless transition for our students into the professional world. Our graduates will not only be well prepared, but actively sought after by employers who recognize the value of their adaptable skill set. The Triton Career Readiness Passport was born from the realization that the future of work demands clarity, skills, and personal and professional alignment. And I'll pass a copy of our new digital passport around. Our communications to students on the passport have actually received the highest open rate out of all of our communications since I've been here, at least. And so there's definitely a lot of interest in both the passport, also on topics such as career and life design. Also, our career readiness assessment, which is built into the passport, is free and also had an extremely high open and participation rate. We've had hundreds and hundreds of students participate when we debuted this at Open House this year, where we had almost 1,200 students attend in person. This effort is really stitching in all of the efforts around campus that are career related into one roadmap, one career and life roadmap for students. And recently I was interviewed by the National Association of Colleges and Employers on the on the passport and how skills are the new currency. So you can take a look at that article if you're interested in learning a little bit more. Here are some examples of elements we might focus more on in terms of partnerships, industry engagement, and college to career. Collaboration for real world insights in terms of partnerships. And we have so many students that don't understand that failure is a part of the process, and it's part of it's on the path to success. And, they have so many limiting beliefs and they lack confidence, and we don't want to just dive into a resume with them early on. We want to talk about the situations that bring out the best in them and get to know them, go 7 levels deep on their why, talk to them about purpose and things like that, about a career and life vision statement. In terms of industry engagement, we've seen a mismatch in terms of perception. NACE did a wonderful article in 2018 on the perception gap in terms of career readiness skills. And in every single competency, employers rated students lower than students rated themselves, with the exception of digital technology. So we need stronger ties. We need stronger ties to align education with industry needs. And the passport, for example, is one way for us to bridge that gap. Industry advisory boards or councils, and really leveraging our scholar practitioners and faculty as they really have extensive networks and do a great number of referrals for our students, which translates obviously to positive career outcomes. And then education to employment. Now, this must be a seamless transition, and we're really building a career ecosystem. We're expanding our networks, and with new niches and careers every single day, how can you keep up? Well, we can keep up if you build a team who is a new breed of career professionals and who are informed connectors. And then also we've seen a lot of students reject full-time offers after an internship. And employers are asking us, what can they do? What can they do to increase the conversion rate from internship to full-time jobs? And one of those ways is for them to do some job shadowing and externships with those employers, or participate in a career trek and go and visit a company and see what the culture is like and talk to people. Informational interviews, obviously. And so that way they get their feet wet and they know kind of what they're getting into. And we've seen a very positive correlation in that sense. Also, through our Tritons Connect platform, alumni mentorship platform, connecting with folks who are doing the job, who have demonstrated success in those roles or in those organizations that students aspire towards, talking to those people and really getting an understanding of what they do from 8 hours a day, 5 days a week, right? So, and last thing I'll say is students are joining people, not organizations, in the future. So the impact of artificial intelligence. Well, how many of you have you heard of a AI prompt engineer? Anyone have any idea of? You have. Okay. Anybody have an idea of how much their salary is? Good guess. Yeah, it can go up to $350,000 a year. So prompt writing is becoming an essential skill in the future. And I would say prolonged creativity is not AI's strong suit. So we're teaching students to really lean into their creative skills. If you think about it, you go back to the World Economic Forum's top skills in 2015, things like emotional intelligence and creativity weren't even on the list. And now you've seen that they've, risen to the top 5, the top 10. So AI is going to become a part of your team. like it is a part of at least my day every day in terms of an AI assistant and even generating this image that you see on the screen. I used Midjourney. So you have to get used to it being in the room. But the question becomes, what happens to our identity as employees? AI is different from humans, but it's still very personal. Some argue. And I would assume that in a sense, my own role may evolve into more of a creative director of career and life design. And the AI systems are designed to really engage us more, to do some of that repetitive work. And as we use it more, they will leverage algorithms and build profiles on you and me and know what we like and what we don't like. So essentially what I'm trying to say is AI should become a part of your professional development plan. Managers can leverage it for retention and recruiting. It can also handle more mundane tasks, which will free up some of your time and could even increase job satisfaction. And don't forget that AI will impact lives beyond work too. So protecting mental health and work-life balance. If work-life balance exists, I would argue that it's difficult to say these days, because really work and life go hand in hand, and they really should complement each other in terms of, if you're lucky enough to be one of the people that finds their calling, or their ikigai, as I like to say, the Japanese concept, meaning a reason for being. In conclusion, I'll say the future of work demands not just a proactive approach, but a visionary one. We need to act decisively to embrace these changes and equip ourselves and our students with the skills and mindset necessary to thrive in this evolving landscape. I invite our institution and all stakeholders to join hands in this transformative journey, working together to pave the way for a successful future. Think about it. 5-10 years ago, you didn't see a chief of well-being or a chief heart officer. These are real roles at top organizations. I was asked to write an article by the National Association of Colleges and Employers on the future of career services. And one of the images that I included was this image that you see here, because I believe very passionately that the future of career services is imagination and well-being and creativity and a creative design space with no borders, a sanctuary of self-reflection. And we have to be able to build those spaces for our students, especially when we know that the journey of career development, the journey of being empowered to design your career in life is inward. There are many things, close with this, there are many things machines can emulate, but perhaps aren't fantastic at it yet. One of those is critical thought. Another might be empathy. Now they can recognize it and they can feel it. They can recognize it, but they can't feel it. Not that I know of yet, but they are being able to recognize empathy patterns. And we've seen that in one of the studies that they did with physicians. And they are also getting very creative. You can see with even just the design work. But the robot that I shared earlier, in that earlier slide, that can cook all those meals, they can't make a meal with love yet, right? And that's the hidden ingredient, along with honey and salt, right? Humans are hardwired to dream, to create, and to innovate. Each of us seeks to do work that gives us purpose, to write a great novel, to make a discovery, to build a strong community, to care for the sick. The urge to connect to the core of our work, that lives in all of us. But today we spend too much time consumed by the drudgery of working on tasks that just zap out all of our time, zap out all of our creativity and energy, right? I always say, manage your energy, not your time. So to reconnect to the soul of our work, we don't just need a better way of doing things. We need a whole new way of work. Thank you for your attention. I'll open it up to questions and thoughts that you might have, and hope to engage in a productive discussion and delve deeper into this crucial topic. Thank you.